Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another Dota 2 commentary. This time, I'm going to be talking about Shadow Shaman a lot. And actually, Shadow Shaman in the context of Ursa. You see my good friend Briarstone is going to be playing as... There we go, that was a little rough as it auto-loads there. My good friend Briarstone, or domain user in this game, is going to be playing as Ursa. And Ursa's quite a potent character. I should be able to do player perspective, and then why can't I find myself? There we are. There, so now it should show the screen that I see or saw while I was playing. Cool, actually you can even, wow, you can even see my mouse. Like, we see two mice on the screen. I'm going to get my current one out of the way, but this should be almost the same as when I was playing. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm sorry, guys. Still playing a lot with the new replay system, which is amazing in Dota 2. It's so fantastic. The directed mode is absolutely stunning, and I have it on auto speed. It should fast forward through this pause quite quickly. The directed mode is fantastic if you just want to watch and enjoy a game. The problem is this is far too a low level of a gameplay for it to really be sort of enjoyable to just kind of look at everyone in general, although it might be interesting to go back and observe what some of the carry types do, because I really have to learn what they do a little bit more. So, the combo here, which is not a particular like hidden or secret combo or anything like that, but Ursa, I guess I have to click on him over here, has a great ability to just, the more he hits, the more he hurts, basically. The more he auto-attacks someone, just the more damage he's going to end up doing. I guess the Fury Stripes is the one I'm thinking about. Yeah, that's the one. It just stacks on some extra damage on top of people's normal auto-attacks. Let's see if I can manually fast-forward it a little bit more. And so all he needs is some mechanism
30 seconds to
help ensure that people stand still for a little while. And so him comboed with anyone with some good amount of CC. CC stands for crowd control, and mostly means things like stuns and slows and that sort of thing. It turns out to be really, really good, because he can get them to stand still. He can close with them, since he is a melee champion. He's actually got to walk up to people to hit them. And then the other thing is just that he needs them to be able to stand still long enough for him to really start getting off those auto-attack combos and keep them on and not hit him with a stun of their own. Ooh, picking up an early haste, which will be quite nice. And so I'm going to be playing a Shadow Shaman, who is one of the handful of heroes with two options for stun. One of the other options would be Lion, would be pretty good for that. In fact, the other team, they've got Lion. And the actual lane we're going to be up against here is a little bit scary, because they have Lion, again, with two other forms of CC, and a Skeleton King, who's got a stun of his own. So between the two of them, it's actually kind of a difficult kind of ganky lane. However, we also have a kind of a difficult ganky lane on our side. Now, Ursa doesn't have really the CC, but he's got a lot more kill factor. So hopefully we're going to be able to execute that relatively well. Item-wise, I've started off with 2 Iron Branches and a Gauntlets of Strength. More and more, and several people have brought up on some of the videos I've put up before, it's more and more, I'm just starting off with 2 or 3 Iron Branches, because they're very good. The value for your money is very high. For example, Gauntlets of Strength cost, I think, 150 and gives you plus 3 Strength. Well, Iron Branches cost like 53 or something like that. So basically you can get 3 Iron Branches for the price of 1 Gauntlets of Strength. Iron Branches give you plus 1 to each stat. So you'll end up with plus 3 to every stat, instead of just plus 3 to 1 stat. Really good. And in this particular case, it also upgrades into a Magic Wand, which is a core item for me. There's a lot of CC going down on Ursa. I do show up with the Shackles just to use it defensively, just to try to get him out of there safely, and indeed he does barely make it. You know, he's currently using his tree-eating items, but he doesn't have a healing salve, so I'm actually going to be using the healing salve on him, just to get him right back in the action. After all, I am support. This is what I do. Like a good bra, I support people. I support the things that matter most in life, right? Oh, that's so bad. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just in that kind of mood, apparently. And here I go. I've taken a lot of damage, and of course I've got no tangles or anything left. But I was saying about my items, I'm actually more often than not when I'm playing support these days, what I do is I buy a courier. I still have enough money for the Gloves of Strength and 3 Iron Branches and, like, I don't know, a Potion of Clarity, or maybe even a Tangos or something like that. I'm not sure what it all comes out to. But 1 consumable. And I'm okay with that. In fact, I'd be fine, I think, at this point, starting off with 0 consumables, because if once, you know, we've been in lane for like 30 seconds or something, even if I'm not getting much in the way of last hits or any last hits, I'll probably still have enough to ship out a consumable at that point. So it's not really the end of the world. Why am I mousing over my Q? I suspect at this point I'm talking to Ursa on Skype during all this, and I'm probably saying something about my Q ability, and obviously that means I have to point to it in my game on my screen. Because, you know, that's the way you talk to things. Even right now, as I'm doing my commentary, I'm moving my hands around because that's just the way you do things, damn it. You know, maybe because I'm French-Canadian, I don't know. So now I've got a fair amount of CC at 2 ranks at this. Again, at one point in either the Hex or the Shackle, there's not a whole lot going on, right? You're talking about 1.25 seconds is microscopic on that spell. In fact, Hex is almost not worth using here, except that it doesn't, you know, screw up people's running around or something like that. You really need that second rank for it to really be valuable. So here I'm pinging the illusion, seeing if anyone will come. Doesn't look like it is. I think I was hoping to get a gank off in mid, but I'm just looking at the minimap. You can see that mid is pushed fairly close to the tower, so there's not much I can do in there. But with the illusion rune and the fact that top is pushed, there's a really good opportunity for a gank. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're going to come in and target Lion, because he's the one with the double CC potential, and he's also probably a little bit squishier, I think is the logic there. So part of the problem is if I'm channeling my Shackle, like here, I can get stunned out of it. Now it's possible the Skeleton King has his stun up as well, but there's a reduced chance of being interfered with. Plus, generally speaking, lines should be a little squishier. I don't know if it matters so much at this phase in the game, because I'm doubting most people have much in the way of survivability, but it seemed like the good idea. Plus, line would have had to run a little further away to get some safety. Looks like I'm getting lots and lots of hits here. It does help with the illusions. Illusions give you tons of last hittingness. And I'm going to go and do what with it? I'm getting very close to my boots. Boots are really a key item on, well, on everyone, obviously. But if you're going to try to be able to snare someone with some sort of CC, you need to be able to catch them. You need to be able to, at the very least, not be outrun, but it helps if you can catch up to them. And I think here, there's my boots, but I'm actually full. I don't want to sell a consumable, I think, although I could have sold the double stack of the tangos. That might have not been the end of the world, but I decided to sell an Iron Branch. And that's the thing, even if you don't intend to put together a magic wand, which at this point I may not end up putting together in this game, we're doing pretty good. I've gotten a few last hits. I'm maybe ahead enough of the curve. It's possible I go straight for Arcane Boots here, which tends to be what happens when I got a good amount of money. Now, me being alone against Ursa, I definitely, or alone without Ursa, against double or triple stun, I definitely don't want to be caught out here. It would be way too easy for them to just eliminate me. I'm trying to use the trees as line of sight blockers while staying in range for XP. I'm not sure if any of that was actually relevant in that particular scenario, but it seemed like a good idea anyway. Oh yeah, I was going to say, even if you don't intend to make a magic wand, buying those iron branches early on, there's a lot of value in that because they're so inexpensive, they give you so much early on, and you can sell them for the majority of the value of the item. And, you know, even if you didn't, even if you literally got nothing out of it, well, 150 gold in the long run isn't much. It is early on, but the +3 to all stats early on is so valuable. So, Iron Branches, very, very good. Nothing wrong with getting a bunch of those. So here we are, back in lane, and I'm just focusing purely on my W and E, just my 2 CCs here. I do want to play a game at some point, because I don't think I've done it as Shadow Shaman. I may have done it as Polywog before, who's the same hero in Han, more or less, like, same abilities, maybe some slight tweaks in how they work, I'm not sure. But I have gone with the heavy Q build, and I think maybe no Shackle at all. Just getting the Hex as almost a defensive thing to let me run away. And just going for like massive push. In fact, I think I've played Polywog mid before, and then I just maxed out my Q, and I used it as a harass tool, but also to get really early tower kills. In fact, what I think we're going to try to do at some point, because my friend here, the guy who's playing Ursa, who I keep calling Briarstone because that's his name in many other games, but he's the main user, I think he likes to play Shadow Shaman. So what I'll probably do is play a game with him as Shadow Shaman and me as a Venomancer. And I'll go max out wards, and he'll go max out Q. And then once you get your ultimate as, ooh, nice Hex there, and hello Lashrak, I do get knocked out of my Shackle there, which is unfortunate, but we still get an easy, easy, easy kill. 5 seconds away from another Hex.
A den mother would have done much worse.
I love the speeches in this game. It is so amazing. Oh, the ultimate on the Shadow Shaman. When you get that, you can knock down towers extraordinarily quickly. Obviously, there's a lot of incentive to keeping the ult around for team fights. But if you can get yourself in a lane clear and get to a tower, dropping your ult next to a tower can really drop it incredibly quickly. It might take a couple of goes if it's just the rank 1 ultimate, but after that, yeah, it'll be fan-freaking-tastic, and you can really help your team with a lot of either community gold, or you can get a lot of gold yourself simply by getting that last hit on the tower. But more importantly, it also gives your team a tremendous amount of map control, because that is not a position that they can they back themselves up to at any point for safety. Right, they're going to be much more exposed if their lane pushes out. Now, your team doesn't have to go that much further to take out the next tower, but that doesn't really matter in any way whatsoever. So yeah, at some point I want to play a push comp. I've played a push comp with Jakiro before, who's also excellent. Well, now that would be an interesting triple. Oh, there's the chicken, and they are in power range. Do get the shackle off. Again, on the primary stunner, get an easy kill there, actually. Oh, Ursa's actually taking some pretty crazy tower damage, but it's not going to matter. And again, everyone's got to say their speeches, get all their attention, and yeah, so I bought some wards. I'm probably going to go and drop them pretty soon. Drink my mana potion. Oh, I remember what's about to come up here. I won't spoil it, but yeah. Remember the fact that I've sold my Iron Branch. Iron Branch gives me +1 mana, or +1 intelligence, which translates to 13 extra mana. So I've got my my mana potion going on. I'm like, oh, regen. You know what? I'm going to take that too. I've got lots of mana. And look at the minimap. Look who's coming up. I'm going to see them in the ward for just a second there. Hello, we've got a sniper. Excellent. I'm going to hex you, drop my wards, and then shackle. Shackle. Oh my god, I was 10 mana short. I was at full mana. I was at 100% mana, and I was 10 mana short of getting off my full Hex Ultimate Shackle combo because I sold that second Iron Branch. Or, I wasn't one level higher or something like that. But, just killed me. I would have loved to have gotten the kill on Sniper because as a support, later on in the game, you do tend to be fodder for carries. You don't get a lot of items that increase your survivability that much, and as their auto attack damage comes into play more and more, they get to the point where they can like two-shot me at a certain point, and that's just sort of the reality I have to live with as a support late game. And so it's really nice when you can get kills on them early on. In this phase, the fact that I'm such a high CC'er / nuker, I can tear these people apart incredibly well if I meet them solo in the jungle like that and get my CC off. Because between the two of them, right, that's right now that's 2 seconds plus 4 seconds on the shackle, 6 seconds of CC. Now, obviously, I'm not auto-attacking them while I'm shackling them, but I'm still doing damage over time just because of the basic abilities. And if I happen to have my wards down, they're dead. 6 seconds standing in the presence of my wards at this level? No, 100% they are deceased. Nice TP in there by Undying. I don't have enough mana for a CC. God, it's too bad I don't have an Iron Branch, because then I would have enough for one right now. Well, almost. Now I've got my Hex up anyway, and I should be able to drop it here. Hopefully save Undying. No, he's going to drop. There he goes down. That is a shame. Leshrac comes in, and nope, not quite able to catch people, and Faceless Void is going to be able to slide away without difficulty. He's very, very hard to catch. It's one of the reasons he's such a good character overall. Characters with a lot of CC, or a lot of escapability, or a really good ultimate that's really good in team fights, tend to be very strong, and Faceless Void definitely meets some of those criteria. He's very hard to kill, he's a great initiator and a great team fighter. So I'm saving up money. I'm not spending much. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just saving up for the arcane boots now and kind of get caught out here, but nope, I'm okay. Although it looks like Leshrac is going to be got caught out. I do have some CC available. Maybe I should turn around sooner. Oh, looks like he's going to be fine. Man, I mean, they've evened up the score. It's 4-3 now. So it's not like the game is going poorly for them. In fact, I'm wondering, what's the XP look like? Holy crap, the Radiant are... Okay, well, they're not that far ahead, actually, because it was pretty even here. They're only about 1,500 ahead, which is not the end of the world. And gold-wise, they have evened the game up considerably. We had a lead, and that's a pretty notable lead in terms of gold. What do we have here? Invisibility. Invisibility is actually really good for me because I can do the gank initiation really well. Not to mention doing a little bit of scouting, but I think we're going to try to go for mid here. It's a little hard because, and I should have probably gone down this path here because I would have gotten a slightly better angle. Oh, I do get the shackle off. I should have started the Hex, and the reason is, here she goes, and she uses her magic missile for the stun at the same time as I use my Hex. We still get the kill off, though, which is all that matters. But it could have been possible for that sniper to escape again, and then I would have been really, really pissed off. So another assist goes to me, I think. I don't think I've gotten a kill yet if I hit it like this. And there I am. Nope, 0-0-5, but I'm okay with that. I'm like a British secret agent.
A healing hand.
Apply some nice damage on the tower, and this would be the first tower to go down, except no, I'm going to be pushed back. There's at least 2 of them there, and I don't want to risk it anymore. Drink another mana potion. Nom 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 nom.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And any time now, Ursa is probably going to go after Roshan. And that's one of the other big power things of Ursa. If you're playing an Ursa, you very quickly gain the ability... Let me switch to his view for a little while, actually. We're going to observe what Ursa starts to do. He does have his Vlad's Offering, which is really the key item there. It gives him so much lifesteal that he actually can just tank Roshan from virtually no hit points, and he'll just heal himself over time. Like, he doesn't actually have to worry about dying to Roshan. Roshan is a heal. And that becomes really powerful, and that's where a lot of Ursa's power is. Yeah, he's like just a good killer in general, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you've got a little bit of map control, if you can see where the other team is, if you've managed to shut down their wards, if you've just killed a couple of them so they can't really engage in a team fight, Ursa can single-handedly take out Roche, while the rest of your team pushes, or just, you know, defends, zones people out, keeps them busy. You know, if they're stuck defending a tower, then Ursa just comes over here and grabs Roshan. That's 200 gold for everyone on your team. That's a 1,000 gold swing, which is tremendous. Ursa's going to pick up haste, and is he going to be able to get a kill for it? Well, maybe on the middle. Oh my god, my apologies, guys. That just totally... overcame me without warning. Oh, nice stun is going to save him unless there's any more CC around, and unfortunately there isn't. Oh, the haste lets him tower dive, easily catching him. And Skeleton King did have enough mana for his ult, but I don't know if it's going to help. That Ursa just starts to apply so much damage. It does help that he's been fed a lot of kills. He's 4-0 already, and oh, he doesn't get the final kill, which is really unfortunate. But we're going to be able to get power out of it. Ursa even getting the gold from that as well, which is exactly the sort of thing we want to see. When one person on our team starts to run away with the game, just keep feeding them gold. Assuming there's someone who hopefully can carry a game, like it wouldn't make as much sense if I got a couple early kills as Shadow Shaman to keep feeding me kills, because my auto attack damage will never be particularly relevant. Although, it'll help. The biggest thing for someone like Shadow Shaman is actually, and here you can see exactly what I was talking about, is actually going to be the experience, because you can get to those higher level nukes, the higher level CC, much faster. Look at his hit points just climb. He doesn't even care. He's got nothing he has to worry about, nothing he needs to do. Phase Boot's very good for chasing people down. Kind of gets stunned there, it's a little annoying, but boom! No problem, Aegis is immortal, and now he can afford to do something absolutely crazy. Meanwhile, what is our hero doing? Well, we're going to push a tower up here, and we may even be able to get it. I'm looking. Now, of course, we've got cheater mode here, so we know where they are because of the map that I've got set up. And with the TP in, yeah, we're going to pull back and not actually engage. In fact, I take a couple of tower blows, which is unfortunate. But let's flip back to Roshan. Or, Roshan. The Roshan killer. Ursa coming from behind. Even going to dive through a tower into a pretty big engaged team fight up here. I've been completely locked down by Faceless Void, which sucks. But, yeah. Oh, just tears apart Sniper. Sniper can do a lot of damage at a hell of a lot of range, but he's always going to be squishy. The Sniper's best defense is absolutely positively just going to be, ooh, nice CC there, whenever he gets his cloak of invisibility, the Assassin Shroud. Then he becomes pretty dangerous. Oh! I was going to say, why did they turn around and attack him? Oh, because they could just two-shot him. The Skeleton King should not have his cooldown up right now, I think, and should go down, if you've even got the mana. There he goes. A little nudge, he falls down, and the Faceless Void as well. Fantastic. We're going to get the first tier top tower as well. And we may want to push the second tier tower as well. If anything, I'm willing to bet the Ursa just farms like crazy over here. Meanwhile, your intrepid hero is finally got his arcane boots, which is all the mana regen I probably needed. Robe of the Magi as well. I wonder what I'm going to build with that. And I do like the deeper mana pool and the faster mana regen is a pretty big deal with this guy. Mostly, you just want to have enough for your combo all the time, like unlike that one time that we fought. Are we going to stick around here? Ooh, the stun makes it a little dangerous. In fact, oh, Ursa even gets knocked down. Now, he does have the Aegis, so he's going to be able to pop back up, and right on top of a Lion who maybe wasn't quite expecting that. Meanwhile, take out a tower, and looks like we're going to be able to just run away and escape at this point. Looks like I'm going to stick around and get a few auto attacks as well. But I think, yeah, I think we just want to get out at this point. So now if we take a look at the team score, I'm willing to bet, yeah. So while the Radiant was ahead, in fact got even further ahead from when I looked, almost 3,000 XP ahead, this huge swing just happened in the last couple of minutes. Oh, I love how there's dots here, just like someone got killed, someone got killed, someone got killed, someone got killed, someone got killed. I mean, there were a couple of deaths on the other side, but not much. Gold-wise, that is hard to come back from. At this point, what they need to do, well, I say that, but you know, one team fight, might be enough to swing all the XP from and gold from one side to the other. If not all, a fair amount would equal it out anyway. But also during that, you know, downtime, which starts to be quite noticeable at this point, you lose a lot of towers, and they can definitely get some of that flipped over. They've got. Well, I was going to say they've got a lot of good ults. No, I guess even team fighting wise, all they've got is Faceless Void. And then they've got some pretty good sources of damage. But yeah, in terms of team fighting ultimates, they really only have one. Well, okay, I say that. I don't actually know much about Chen. Or Shen. Hand of God. Regenerating creeps. Yeah,